Off Feendish.
Sounding off.
Thank you. It's supposedly streaming. Hello, can anybody hear me? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, although starting the day off with downtime wasn't my favorite.
Ooh.
Hey, Feendish.
That was almost bad.
Lost you there for a minute.
Yep.
I'm getting a reverb. Oh, no, I'm not anymore. Will you have a peek in the channel and see if people are getting both audio and video?
Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta refresh it again. That was my whole connection went down.
Ooh, ugh.
And now I have to listen to the ad again. Shallow says she can see and hear everything. Sailor says working fine.
Great! So let's hit the road. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the Roadshow today. I'll be your host today. I'm Diva, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Feendish.
Hey there.
And
I'm scared.
today is a wonderful roadshow. We'll be touring some of Feendish's dimensions. And I've been looking forward to this for a long time. You know, we usually don't focus on either of our own builds on the roadshow, so this probably won't happen very much because we mostly want to focus on dimensions by all of you guys. But today we'll be having fun in Feendish's dimensions. But before we get started with that, what about some news for this week, Feendish?
Well, we know that Rift had a live stream yesterday. During that live stream, which was actually really informative, they talked a lot about what was coming up with 3.3, and not about dimensions, but other stuff that kind of pertains to us. And I don't know a single person that only plays this game just to build dimensions. Well, except for maybe Diva.
Not anymore.
At any rate, shared storage. Oh my God.
Oh yes.
How long? I quit pretty much listening to anything they said. All I heard was shared storage. 32 slots is the initial offering. There's no price yet. I expect it to be pretty high. But, given the number of alts that I have, the number of stuff that I move back and forth between all my characters, I'll more than likely pay it, and I'm just really glad to finally see it. But as far as dimensions go, there wasn't anything new for this week.
Well, as far as contests go, the Mars Attacks Dimension Contest is about to draw to a close, and I know that Mert has been going on a lot in DA Chat about how excited he is to get to see those entries. And entries will close June 15th, so if you've been working on one that you've been keeping private, got to enter by June 15th, and then I guess soon after that we'll get to see these wonderful contest entries. And then maybe some of you hadn't noticed that Kiwi has a new wardrobe contest. It's out on the forums under Adventures in Talara. Thank you, Feendish, for finding that for me. And this one is coordinating your outfit with your favorite mount and your favorite zone. So I know people seem to love these wardrobe contests, and since I've been fishing a lot this week, I have been doing a lot more with wardrobes. In fact, I would say I'm a minion wardrobe addict pretty much now. Yep. That's about it for contests. So away we go, and we're starting out in a dimension that Fiendishly is graciously unveiling on this show, and we're there now, and it is called, well, it's called The Lost Tomb of Uncle Stan.
It's very different from your take on Uncle Stan. This is after we've all hit him with our pitchforks and burned him at the stake.
Well, I'm right at the...
We decided to bury him in style.
And we did. Wow, I'm right at the zone-in point, and I think it's hard to really tell that you're in Infinity Gate because Feendish has done one of the things that I think she is just so marvelous at, totally transforming a dimension. And oh, this is beautiful. Look at these waterfalls in the background. Oh, and when we look at the tomb, I mean, I'm already awestruck, but I can't help but notice this spinning effect that you have up at the top of the columns here. And it's beautiful, and it tickles me too. Fishing poles.
Seemed kind of fitting to spin out some fishing poles here.
I don't know about making something that's both beautiful and funny. I think that is so cool.
I think trying to get this lure has broken my mind.
So you've been taking a little bit of a break from fishing, or just not fishing as much?
I've been doing the derby, and that's about it.
Oh.
I about flipped my lid yesterday on Zaviel. I fished up the pole with a skill level of 431 doing the dirt. Considering how much grinding I had to do on NA, I just about lost it.
'Cause you did over 10,000 successful casts to get it with to get it on Graybrier.
Yeah, just the pole.
Yeah, just the
I
pole.
still don't have the lure.
Yeah, and you're up to 60,000 or more.
No, not quite that high.
Oh, but a crazy amount.
Yeah. I'm over 20K. And I think that's why it was so frustrating yesterday to get it on EU when I wasn't even at 450 fishing. I fished just enough over there to level.
Yeah.
I do the derby over there like maybe once a week.
I almost can't speak. This is so gorgeous, but I also see I'm coming right up into the central area. Oh, and may I say you're dressed beautifully, perfectly for this dimension.
Thank you.
Love the touch of the fish, the rainbow fish. Perfect.
Yes. And the dwarf is because Stan is a dwarf.
When your item selection here is just as perfect as usual, these tombs you're using have this little green tinge, which is just perfect in a kind of fishing related environment. Oh, this is spectacular.
Yeah, I wanted to leave it open, so I didn't wall in really anything, just to because I want the landscape to be more of it.
And it's spectacular how you've left the walkways open and then these dome kind of structures. I mean, you just get a wonderful view of these waterfalls that you've built, this whole environment that you've created. Wow.
Alejandra says I look just like the statue.
Surely not. So I'm going down one of these side walkways. I love this.
Yep, there's all of our recipes to be picked up.
So we can laugh about that, but then we can drool as we look at this landscaping around here. Wow. I'm not sure Uncle Stan really deserves to get to rest in peace in such a gorgeous environment.
He will if he gives us all the super secret lure.
Well, only then. Shinies!
Yep, because that's
so good.
Fish up shinies.
Yeah. Wow. How long did it take you to build this one, Feendish?
Uh, I started it Sunday,
Wow.
so about 5 days.
I love how you left some of these open areas too, because if I leave the beautiful structure, which is difficult to do, I can look at these falls from out here too, and it just somehow it highlights all your beautiful landscaping.
Thank you. I like doing a lot of landscaping. I like natural areas. That and I like the big fantasy buildings, like the structure itself. Even though, that building would never be standing in reality because there's just not enough support for all those rooftops. Not without some kind of sidewall. But it's a fantasy game and we can make whatever we want.
Yes, very true. But, oh, these falls.
Yeah, I've definitely been on a waterfall kick lately.
I love natural settings too, and water is very important. I just love streams, waterfalls, lakes, everything, water, seasides. Oh, this is beautiful. You can tell she's been keeping this one kind of under her hat a bit, because I think you have 2 votes here. And I actually think they're both mine.
Yeah, I haven't voted anything. I haven't put a vote on it yet. I don't think anybody that's been in here has.
I got to be a sneaky sneak and get vote number 1. This dimension really epitomizes some of the things I think you're so amazing at, Feendish. Total transformations and kind of man-made structures, buildings and such, but also these mountains and the falls, the natural structures. I don't really understand it, but you're just fantastic at both of those. And then just the landscaping. Oh, your landscapes are just so beautiful. And this one is another one that uses just, the lighting is just amazing. You use lighting just in such an amazing way. I keep hounding you for more and more tips, and I've read all your tips and tricks. Oh, look at, there's a gorgeous rainbow there too. But you're just a maven at lighting.
Thank you. This is probably one of the few that I didn't put in a sky projector because I wanted the infinity sky.
I love it here.
And working with light and a natural sky was kind of a lesson for me because I don't do it very often.
Mm-hmm. You always take advantage of either the natural features and sky and lighting in a dimension, or you change it, but you take advantage of that too, because you always have super lighting and music. I mean, you don't miss any layer. I just think you are just an excellent builder. I mean, this is why you're a dimension nerd extraordinaire and just one of my favorite builders ever.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, every perspective, every place that I go to and look at any part of the dimension, it's beautiful. And the way that you've lighted these, they're not exactly domes, but these domes from below is so beautiful.
Thank you. I didn't use any dream-weaving lights in here. These are all pagoda lanterns and ever-glowing pagoda lanterns embedded in the columns.
Wow.
I started out with, I was actually going to use domes in here, but the item count was just, it was too much on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm. But these are beautiful.
So I had to pull the arches that I had up and replace them with the Bravanic domes because, well, these corridors just took an insane number of planks.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get a view up here of the walkway roof. Wow. And I love these obelisks that you've used here. They're really different looking. They're beautiful. Used this way.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to keep the structure neutral, kind of neutral colors, so browns, plain white. Black marble is probably one of my favorite building blocks, but in here I went with the different tack because I want the primary focus of this for me was always to be the landscape.
Yeah. Wow, well this is a wow one. Thank you for kind of holding this so we could look at it together on the roadshow today. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And now we're going to go on to a next one. You mentioned that one of your favorite building items is black marble, and so I'm going to take us now to Black Flower Shrine.
This is one of my oldest ones, still standing in its original form. It's one of my favorites too.
One of my favorites too. This is one of the first dimensions of yours, maybe the first that I ever saw.
Yeah, this one's almost 2 years old.
Wow. It's another one where you zone in and your jaw drops first time you come here.
And this is still one of my favorite personal dimensions. It's got a lot of flaws. When I built this one, we didn't have indicators, we didn't have dream weaving, we didn't have a lot of the stuff that we have now, and there's a lot of flaws with this one that I would like to fix. So I copied it over to the PTS because I'm not about to tear it down on live and try to rework it again. This was probably one of the technically hardest things I've ever built.
And it looks it. It's spectacular. Oh, just looking at the facades. Wow. This black and gold is so striking. Arches. I'm a spinning noob.
And this one's modeled off of a real life building. It's the tomb of Muhammad Shah in Delhi, India.
I know you're kind of a history, geography person, buff. And you have been inspired in this way by a few of your dimensions.
Yeah. There's one still up that's older than this one that's not on the list for today, and it's still up, and it's pretty much original shape too, and that one was the Aztec pyramid.
Oh, and I was making you
This
count
one was
up your...
hard.
Oh yeah, this one is just... Oh, this one's really inspiring. That this can even be done in our dimensions is still amazing to me. But I was making you count up your dimensions, and I think that you figured out you have something like 62 dimensions.
Yeah, I think that's the count I got with the new one.
And that includes some guild dimensions too. And
Yeah, one guild dimension on High Law, one guild dimension on Greybriar, working on another guild dimension on Greybriar. There's a commission on Fablight that I can't find on the list right now. I'm still looking for it. Got 2 builds on Zaviel, and all the rest are on Greybriar. And I'm working on one on Zaviel as well.
so in other words, she does just about what you can do. She collaborates, she does beautiful ones, she does man-made structures, natural environments, guild dimensions, personal dimensions.
Yeah, I think Cedrica on Fablight has a couple more than I do, but that's it.
Oh, and this central dome and area are just amazing. Wow. If you haven't seen any of the dimensions by Feendish that we visit today, you will greatly enjoy yourself if you go visit them. And even if you have seen them, if you haven't visited them in a long time, like she was saying, this one's 2 years old, maybe you haven't been here for a while. I just love going back and visiting my old favorites. So I would encourage people to go do that. It's a lot of fun. Wow, and of course your landscaping is spectacular here too. Well, thank you for showing us. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to say that this was the second, I think, Edge of Infinity I built. I didn't really do any transforming with, so I wanted to see how it worked here. But yeah, that's one of the things that's on the list to get redone when I remake this one is to kind of update the landscape a little bit.
I'm always a little bit sad when you talk about redoing a dimension, but all of your rebuilds that you've done have been so gorgeous. So I still find it a little bit scary, but I'll be looking forward to seeing that someday.
Well, that's why this one's going up on the PTS, and I'm really wanting to wait for the 3.3 items to finish this one out.
Oh, we'll be looking forward to seeing that. So I'm trying to get to a variety of Feendish's dimensions today, so let's go next to High Noon Lodge. Hey Feendish, what are some people's comments? Or does anyone have questions from chat?
I haven't seen any questions. There's just been a lot of, when you said 62, I think I got a lot of Jeebus.
Now's your chance. Ask her some questions.
Shallow says, I think it's much easier when you update your old dimensions, because there's so many more items now, and I would agree with that. With some of them, you see how dated they are, and you just like, I can do this better, or you come up with a new way of doing it that maybe uses fewer items, so you can do other stuff too. Oh, I gotta put my cowboy outfit on now.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful outside. And totally different. There she is, ready for a hoedown.
This area. That's right.
I love this area too. I love the movement of the windmills in the background too. But this rocky, sandy area is really special. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like this dimension, Scarlet Gorge, but I actually really do. There's a couple things that I wish about it, and that's that the flat areas were a little bit bigger and that the item limit was higher. But I like item limits because it gives us a challenge and a way to solve a problem.
Yep. I still love going back and doing a Sanguine Shores or a Warden's Point every now and then, because I got to get my greed in check every now and then. I want 5,000 item limit dimensions, but it's really challenging to use 400 items or even 1,200 items or whatever. But I love this. You've got, there are pre-existing features in this dimension, and you're matching those, you're coordinating with those, and you even use, your wall art even works with this theme. I mean, you're just so creative.
Well, there's a few things that I really don't do well. Wall art is one of them. A lot of small morphing is another. But I mean, everybody has strong points and weak points, and so yeah, I'll never be Sailor to make the stuff that she makes, so that's fine. I can live with that.
But it would be boring in Dimension Land if we all built the same thing. That's the fun part, is that we all have different styles and different focuses and different areas of expertise, and so we get to see a whole big bunch of styles.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, and this bedroom is just beautiful. And doesn't everybody want a window like that in their bedroom? I sure do. Wow, I'm not sure I've seen any cowgirls that well, I just kind of was dumbfounded there for a minute. Is this the one you call your Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit?
Yeah.
You're awful good at wardrobes too.
Let me put the other one on for you.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the butt crack special.
Yeehaw.
I really wanted that cowboy hat.
That's one of my favorite wardrobe items, actually. looks like some pretty good wall art in here to me. You're saying you can't do wall art, but it's mighty fine, little lady. Wow, love this kitchen too. Really looks like High Noon Lodge. Okay, well, I'm not going to do an adequate tour here because I want to get on to another one. So next we're going to go to Hanging Garden. And this is one that is one of your most recent rebuilds, isn't it, Feendish?
Yeah, I just rebuilt this one not too long ago. The original I built right after 2.5 when all the trophy items came out. And it was looking a little old and a little tired, and so I fixed it.
And another total transformation. I mean, you'd never know you're in Endless Eclipse if you didn't look at the label. Wow.
Yeah, Endless Eclipse is probably one of my favorite base dimensions. It's ugly. I mean, it's ugly, but you know, there's a lot of points in here where you can set your entry point or whatever, and just go. And there's lots of vertical space that doesn't have anything in it.
It is ugly, but not in here. And I think there are dimensions where people can utilize some of the native features too. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one that challenges me.
And I've always, the Hanging Gardens has been one of those themes since I started building, you know, that I've tried to do. I built one in Fane's Retreat, and I built one, so, God, where else did I build it? I don't remember now, but, you know, they never would come out right, and then it was like, well, if I just go and I make a thing however I want to, then I've done it. If that even made any sense.
Yes, it did. You never miss any detail either because you always have inside kind of the area and outside of the main area.
Well, the biggest thing about working with a dimension like this is the draw distance, you know, because we can only see so far. And so, I don't know, it bugs me to not try to account for that.
This is one of my weaknesses. I have to continually work on it. But I agree with you. I love this inner fountain here.
Yeah, he was a holdover from the old one.
So cool. I mean, you even consider like things like what colors will be reflected if I use this sky, and you know, little details like that that can make a big impact.
The interesting thing here is that pawns will reflect the natural sky in your base dimension no matter what projector you use. So they recently changed pond reflections again. So now that the Endless Eclipse sky, the native sky has that purple reflection when it used to be a kind of yucky gray black gross looking thing, like sled.
Well, this is a teeny little thing, but this is one of the things I always marvel at, how you do item selection so well, because here's brown brick triangles, and are these granite triangles?
Yeah.
Okay, but they're gold and silver here. And you know, it's really thinking outside the box to select items like that. I mean, when we usually see these things, they're being brown brick houses and whatever. So
Thank Minions.
Oh, and again, your landscaping is just, I mean, I don't have words. Just beautiful. And I notice you do reuse some things from dimension to dimension too, and yet I never think they look, you know, repeated or anything like overused or anything like that. But these columns up top here are similar to some columns that you made in the Uncle Stan dimension.
Oh yeah, I reuse those all the time.
I think that's cool.
Because I spent enough time twisting all those little flowers around those columns that I saved it as a set, and I reuse it anytime I please.
I was going to say, you save a lot of items, objects like that as sets and then reuse them. Like arches, don't you have a number of arch saved sets?
Arches, circles, yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Wow. This structure at the back here. So amazing.
Yeah, I wish that these facades weren't actually facades and they were more like actual building blocks, so that we wouldn't have to, you know, close off things like this, because from the inside you could see straight through to the outside.
Yeah, that invisible thing happening. Yep, I agree.
And I couldn't come up with any way around it but to close it off.
I don't know, sometimes I think that problem solving stuff, you end up with some wonderful things. From having to cover up a flaw or make do.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is a beautiful round structure that's partly that way because you're trying to hide part of it. So, you know, that's really cool. Another waterfall. Totally different. Beautiful. You use quite a few of these lady statues, and I always think they are a great addition where you use them.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait till I can replace a lot of them with new statue. I'm thinking Achilles would go pretty good in here.
Wow. Just amazing. Another too short, inadequate tour, but we're going to move on to another one, and this time we're going to end up in Gothica. Another dimension that challenges me. I come into Infinity Gate and just have no idea what to do, and I'm a transformation noob compared to you. But this is just amazing. Here we've just arrived in this gate.
And the keys to Infinity Gate just dropped from the sky.
Yes. Wow. It's a beautiful structure.
Yeah, if any of them could be said to be my dream house, this one would probably be it.
Boy, this is a dream house. Got matching fountains on either side of this approach path. I love the lighting you added to those gargoyles up there.
It's more of those ever-glowing lanterns.
Yeah, that flickering effect is so pretty.
Yeah, Bella, that's what that's the ever-glowing pagoda lanterns.
Yeah,
up there.
that's really creative.
The only thing I wish with this one is that, I ran out of the item limit, so I could only open a few of the rooms, and since I don't like kitchens and bathrooms anyways, then that kind of made it easiest to what rooms wouldn't be open.
Trying to get up here where I can be a peeping diva. Peek in the dining room. Yeah, I like to take a break from kitchens and bathrooms too. I think I've done one too many or 10 too many.
But yeah,
oh, just gorgeous.
This one, I really wanted the castle feel.
Totally has it.
A renovated castle.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. And maybe some of it's closed off because they haven't renovated it yet.
Sure.
I love these chairs. Your furniture in here is absolutely amazing. There's a chair I recognize.
Oh, Raowar's, yeah.
Yep. I think she changed the name of that dimension.
Yeah, it's called Dinner for One now.
And if you saw it before, I think it was same procedure as last year. That contest entry. Yeah, that's a fun dimension. Boy, this fireplace is amazing. And this is one of the furniture here is one of the things that just made my mouth hang open when I first visited here. I mean, oh, just the glory of spinning illustrated here. Beautiful. Wowie wow. Oh, you have another outfit for this dimension. Perfect. Has anybody come up with some questions for you yet in chat?
No, not yet.
I love how you did the windows here too. These arched longer windows, but you have
Bella wants to see the chandelier.
This round one in the dining room. Isn't that beautiful? And simple, easy to get items used to make something beautiful and amazing. And I remember when we were griping about how we were running out of all of our goblets and chalices, and you came up with these little beauties here.
I thought I borrowed those from you.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, I know vases and candles are a pretty common combination for morphed cups, and honestly, I like the morphed cups better than the ones that come off the events.
Yeah, it all comes down to item count.
It
Can I afford 2 whole items for a goblet? I love this art piece you made to hide her pregnant belly.
Yeah, that I love those statues. I love the coloring of them, but that belly just really drives me crazy.
And you made sconces that coordinate with the chandelier. That's so cool.
Oh, that's old school. Going back old school there, using the desk scales.
Doesn't matter. I just did a post about the wonder of some older things.
Yep.
And you're a master at lived-in clutter too, because this is a very neat and tidy place, but still it looks more like someone was just here if you see their hairbrush or you see an open piece of mail in an envelope. I love all these details.
Yeah, well, that
Cheers.
might be a love letter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I tend to reuse the same things a lot. The same desk model, the same cabinets, the same bed frames. I mean, I don't know, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to making new stuff because the old still works.
Well, this is another amazing one. And you mentioned love letters. Speaking of that, let's go next to one. She calls these doodles, some small ones that she does. And we're going to go ahead to the proposal now. Sanguine Shores.
Yep.
It can be a little beauty. See?
I just built my first Warden's Point not that long ago. Normally I'm much more fond of Sanguine Shore.
Oh, and that's a newer one. Tell them the name of that one.
It's called Spring Rain Falls.
And that's what's there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen it yet, go visit.
But this was from Louvinette's contest earlier this year. I actually built this one first, and this was going to be my entry. And then I decided people morphs are just not my thing, and he drives me crazy.
Even though she does some that are great.
Yeah.
Duh.
She came out okay, but he drives me nuts.
So one of the requirements from Louvinette's contest was a heart inside the dimension, and so Feendish is so creative, she did a little carved heart on this tree trunk here. Isn't that cute? I love that. And Mr. Birdie, I know, is nearby.
Oh, the goofy bird, yeah, he's right there too.
There he is, and there's his girlfriend up there on this amazing gazebo. Beautiful. So they have a fantastic looking picnic lunch here. But of course the main event is the proposal. Oh, they're so cute and sweet. He's down on bended knee. Such dear little people morphs. I love them. And she can't do people morphs, so she says, and yet look at the expression on this one. Body position, facial expression. Oh, she's surprised.
Yeah, but is it in a good way or not?
Yes, it's in a good way. So cute. And I still just love her little hairstyle. He went all out on that ring, too.
Yeah.
It's a Tiffany's box.
Yeah, big.
You know
spinner.
that blue? So every layer is good. I mean, the hard structures, the soft parts, the landscaping, the lighting, the water, the effects. A lot of times sky projectors, music boxes. No chance for detail is ever missed in Feendish's dimensions. And then I say that these are perfectly wonderful people morphs.
Well, thank you.
The gazebo's beautiful. I mean, this is just a sweet little dimension that I love. And let's go take a look at one that's very special. This is one of the first ones, one of the earlier ones of yours that I saw too. It's called Chateau de Redneck. Now you've seen that she can build absolutely beautiful furniture and decor and everything. But how about a slightly torn screen door? This one always cracks me up. Wow, that's a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And this is the fishing tackle zone and the gardening area zone and the entry. And here's some trophies. That one cracks me up.
Yeah, this one kind of, has become a place to put my soul-bound, well, my account-bound items so they don't clog up bank space. But this one was originally my very first dimension when that one got torn down, and I built this one in its place, and this is for my dad. I grew up in a place that looked quite a bit like this.
I was showing the dedication there, your wall art. So, in fact, the other day, I was just happened to be catching a little bit of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, one of the movies Jeff Foxworthy and those guys are doing, and I actually heard this joke that Jeff Foxworthy must have done at least 1,000,000 times, which is, you might be a redneck if you have your working TV is sitting on top of your not working TV.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you've got the mail here. The stacked cans. More trophies. Love the floor covering.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the busted TV. Well, I was the remote. When you have the remote.
Get up and change the channel.
Change the channel. Turn it up. Hey, fix the antenna. Go get me a beer.
And you actually have the roll of duct tape on the coffee table that was used to repair the various pieces of furniture. And out the window, a washing machine is in the yard right next to a car on blocks.
Truck on blocks.
Yep. And I can see a structure in the distance.
Yeah, an old outhouse.
Yep.
That's why if you go in the bathroom here, it looks the toilet looks pretty new and sparkling, and that's because, it is new and sparkling.
I love this chair. I must have laughed about this chair 5 minutes when I first came in here.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And of course, the cooler instead of an end table, side table.
Yep.
Love that. That's so good.
You got bike pieces on the table because you don't ever actually eat on the table.
Oh,
it's a workbench.
Yeah, eating in front of the TV, definitely.
Yep. And you gotta have deep freeze.
Yep, got the freezer here. Clothes on the line.
Yep. And I don't know if anybody in here would ever have eaten it, but the USDA government cheese, that's what's in the refrigerator.
So awesome. Got some bacon going on.
Oh, ham and bean.
These trophies just crack me up every time. Oh, love the steel.
Yeah, my dad actually he had one. It didn't work out too well for him sometimes.
That is amazing. They just got plumbing? You said it's new.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, the toilet's new,
Yeah.
but you got an old wash tub that you still
Yeah.
have to fill up.
Love that. Gravestones, what would we do without them? That's awesome. And the washboard.
I have no idea.
That washboard just kills me. So awesome. This one's so fun, Feendish.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to build. I mean, it brought back a lot of good memories building this place.
Oh, well, that's nice. I say that this was one of the first ones that I saw with the humor aspect. You know, done so much through it, and it really made a big impact on me. Really love it.
Thank you.
So I see I've already gone over past one, but you know what? I want to go in one more. I want to go in Cloud Garden. Thank you for showing us this very special one.
I'm sure.
And I know some people might have heard this before, Feendish, but you know we usually ask our guests whether they use add-ons or not, and you know we try to make it clear that we like all kinds of building, with add-ons, without add-ons, whatever. But I know that you have used dimension tools in the past, but you're kind of back to Toolbox these days because of the multi-select bug, largely.
Yeah, I use both. I use Toolbox a lot more now, just because it's been more reliable for me. But for large sets, I will definitely go with some DTs, so I don't have to take 100 pieces or 120 out of my bags.
Yeah. That's what keeps me using dimension tools. This one is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. This one is also a rebuild. The very first time I built this one, it was the first endless eclipse that I had used ever, and it started out as an experiment, and then it just kind of went along, and so now I've kind of cleaned it up a little bit and just redone it to reflect some of the dream weaving stuff that we got.
So gorgeous. Yeah, it's
And
another
you did help
one.
me with this one?
I did? No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
This
Don't
isn't
tell
going to
me
be
you're
that.
senile already.
This isn't going to be that dumb chair story again. I think helping is not when somebody asks you a question and you say, "I don't know, try this." That's not helping
Hey,
somebody.
that was help. Yes, it is.
She asked me about an item for something, and I think I suggested a chair, and you ran with it.
Yeah.
Oh, these lanterns are just gorgeous. This is another one I gotta keep checking the dimension label.
Yeah, I do character extensions just so I can use the endless eclipse.
Wow. The view of the main structure. Woo!
Yeah, that's a lot of chairs. It's a good thing you suggested those.
I love the shrine here too. I remember being so surprised when I figured out, I think I had to ask you to figure it out, but that these were open books.
Yeah.
So cool.
Just one of the items that I wish scaled just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
A lot bigger.
Welcome to Diva Exploring. I just thunder through the bushes.
You didn't take the bridge?
Well, I like to go around the outside. I usually don't explore on the roadshow like I really explore. I'm an outside-in explorer, and I'll go all the way around the perimeter and work my way in. Oh, so gorgeous. Love how you use this stained glass.
Yeah, I really like the blue one. I like the colors of the other one, but it just doesn't come out right when you try to use it in a situation like this.
Now this is so pretty how you applied this to the rocks. But this reminds me of one of my favorite features, which I of course forgot to point out in Gothica, which is when you are approaching the building, you come up, you're on that path, because of the sky and how you've used trees in there, you get these beautiful shadows of waving trees on the front of that building. So this is just one of the things I marvel at about you. This is a, feature you specifically applied here, but you also use things like that, the shadow from the trees. I don't know, I just think you're really creative.
Thank you.
But you're blocking my view.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there. Yeah, these ponds are gorgeous. Oh, sakura trees and cherry trees.
Yeah, I'm a real fan of the cherry trees. Not so much the sakura, but the other ones, and then the glow leaf trees. Um, I didn't used to like them that well, but they've kind of grown on me a lot.
Oh, I really love them. A lot of times your landscapes have a mix of so many textures. Like you'll use some of the things like the glow leaf trees that are kind of more exotic and they often are kind of lighted, but then you'll use, greenery with that too. And this is one of the parts of the landscaping that, I just struggle with. I'm just not creative with that. But oh, this water that you have here is so pretty. Two more of the stained glass. And another shrine. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I had intended to put a Buddha back here, but I couldn't do it. So instead, you got my version of the Buddha, which I saw a picture on Google kind of like this of a very, very old one.
It's pretty. Looks like years and years ago they built a Buddha from natural items they found in the vicinity.
Yeah, as long
It's
as they
beautiful.
repair boulders.
Oh, and another water feature out in the pond.
Yeah, I do like the water features. And I was so happy when we got things like the drip lines and the splashing waters and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as like the ground goes, the Ashoran rocks are just, I mean, they're invaluable to me. I love these big rocks. I don't even care that they're sandy.
Oh yeah, they're so versatile. They cover up so many flaws and gates. Wow. So now you can see the chair. Wow, this is a beautiful building.
And thank you. I really, really wanted a pagoda.
I just love the Japanese themed dimensions.
Yes, I do too.
I love how you've used these idols as the little kind of delicately screened inserts. That's really creative. Wow. All of the framing detail on the windows. This one's more open so we can see it. That is just beautiful. Everything works together to create this tranquil atmosphere here. If anybody's thought of a question for Feendish, Now would be the time to ask it, 'cause we're almost at a close. Fantastic gong.
Yeah, the cakes have really been worked out great for everything but cakes. Sailor says they're speechless.
Yep. And how's this for a screenshot? The doorway, you see the Asian lanterns and then the cherry tree landscaping back there, and you can see on a little bit back to the water back there with the stained glass effect on the boulders. So gorgeous. Wow. So I have to tell you guys, this was one of the hardest road shows because I had to put together the list and to take Feendish's, dimension work and try to limit it to, I think we went to 7 or 8 different dimensions, was so horrible and hard, and I left out many that are some of my very favorite ones, and that was so hard. One of the things that I do every now and then, which is a lot of fun, is I take my Greybrier tourist over here and I just kind of do random pics of her dimensions or look for one I might not have visited last time. And it's a big time learning experience for me. She's such a skilled builder and a creative artist that you'll not just have fun, but you'll learn things. You'll notice new details each time. So maybe that's something that you'd like to try. Just head over to Greybrier and just go through a bunch of the ones marked Bera on the list. So I want to thank everybody, especially you, Feendish, for allowing us to tour some of your dimensions today. I had to use a much smaller dose of chloroform than I anticipated, which was nice.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure going through your dimensions. And any last comments or questions from anybody in chat? Nope, I guess not this time. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming on the Roadshow with us today, and we'll be here again and every Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 p.m. GMT, and that's it. I hope everybody has a great day. Say goodbye, Feendish.
Goodbye, Feendish.
Take care, everybody.